All right, everybody, this is the Fantasy Sports Boss with the Fantasy Football Week 2 ads. All right, I put together a list of the players that I think are worth adding off waivers this week that are going to help you going forward and also address some of the injury issues that took place around the league. Some big name running backs went down, also some receivers of note as well. So with that in mind, these are the prime ads that you should be targeting off waivers this week. Obviously, the list starts with Jeff Wilson, who is now going to inherit the mantle of running back one on the San Francisco 49ers after the sprained MCL suffered by Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell is going to be out for possibly as long as 2 months, which means Wilson's going to get an extended leash. Now, Wilson has flashed some potential in the past. He's done some good things. He can run, also can catch the football as well. But the only caveat with Wilson is Deebo Samuel ran the ball more than anticipated in week 1. Not sure if he's going to still get that high amount of rushing, carries going forward, given the increased risk of injury. 49ers probably don't want to lose Samuel, somebody so valuable to the offense. But at the same time, with Mitchell out, they're going to need help. So it wouldn't surprise me if Deebo and Jeff Wilson have, sort of a 50-50 split timeshare arrangement. I still think Wilson, though, is worth targeting heavily off waivers this week because of the run-heavy nature of the 49ers offense. So he would be, near the top of targets this week. Also, I forgot to mention at the start, if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, so you're made aware of any of the new videos that I posted. And there's going to be a lot of new videos added, as we go throughout the week, addressing the injuries, some more crisis point videos. I did a couple of crisis point videos today, more where that came from. And, of course, some other features the rest of the week leading into Football Friday live stream. All right, also Curtis Samuel. So Curtis Samuel is very interesting. He had 10 targets, 71% snap count for the Washington Commanders. And what was really interesting about Samuel is that not only was he used in the passing game, but he was used in the running game as well. Had 4 carries. Going to be involved in jet sweeps as well. So Samuel, whose biggest challenge has been staying healthy, now that he's healthy, looks to be a significant part of the Commanders' offense. Now, of course, Terry McLaurin is still the wide receiver 1, and Jahan Dotson is coming off a 2-touchdown game himself, the rookie out of Penn State. But with that being said, Samuel, the fact that he's going to be used on both sides, whether it's running the football and catching the ball, gives him a Deebo Samuel look. And since Deebo Samuel was a second-round pick, and Samuel you can just get off waivers, that's a winning proposition for me. So definitely target Samuel heavily. The talent was never in question with this guy, even coming out of college. It was just about staying healthy. That's been his biggest challenge. But at least for now, he's healthy, and that Commanders' offense was really humming in week 1. All right, Jaylen Warren. So, I had Jaylen Warren on this list. Looks like Najee Harris avoided disaster. Tests were negative on his foot, but he's still, he had that Lisfranc injury. Perhaps what happened to Harris yesterday is a warning or an omen going forward. So especially if you're a Harris owner, you want to pick up Jaylen Warren, who had a very nice summer. He's got good speed. He's got good ability. He's very intriguing. If Harris were to go down for an extended time period, I think Warren could more than do the job. All right, Robbie Anderson. So now it's only 1 game, but it was assumed all along DJ Moore would be the number 1 target for Baker Mayfield. After all, Moore has been a very, very good underrated receiver the last couple of years. The only thing holding him back with a lack of touchdowns. But Mayfield comes in and he targets Anderson very heavily. Anderson had a huge game for the Panthers in week 1, while DJ Moore was very quiet. And you could say it's just a 1-game thing, but at the same time, a quarterback has their preferences or has certain chemistry with certain players. Mayfield coming in, perhaps he developed a chemistry with Robbie Anderson, not as much with DJ Moore. Now, DJ Moore, like I said, is very talented, but at least for 1 game, it looks like there's a nice rapport going on between Robbie Anderson, who is a very good deep threat, with Baker Mayfield, who throws a good deep ball. So that is a good matchup for them. I would really only chase Anderson in standard leagues and PPR leagues. I just don't think he's going to be consistent enough. All right, Rex Burkhead. Whether you like it or not, 71% snap share for Rex Burkhead. Totally dwarfed Dameon Pierce. Helped lead Pierce to a very disturbing and ugly week 1 performance for him. Burkhead's going to be heavily involved, apparently. Got 14 carries to Pierce's 11. Also, was heavily targeted in the passing game as well, with the Texans trailing in most of their games this season, as we anticipate will be the case. Burkhead will be in there in the hurry-up offense, catching passes, dump-off throws from Davis Mills. On that alone in PPR leagues, you want to have Rex Burkhead on your bench. Taysom Hill, I'm taking a bow on Taysom Hill. I'm sorry, I have to do it. I said all summer, target this guy as a cheat code, a quarterback tight end. I don't think I ever remember a guy in all the years I've been doing fantasy that was a quarterback or a tight end. If there was, post that in the comments because I can't recall any. A lot of people laughed at me for recommending Taysom Hill, but what did he do? He went out, he ran for a touchdown. He had a 50-plus yard run. He also caught a pass. It wouldn't behoove the Saints to use him around the goal line constantly because you don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to tuck in and run? Is he going to throw it? He could catch it as well, as we saw yesterday. And this is a guy with tight end eligibility. 15 fantasy points yesterday with tight end eligibility, and Hill only had a 20-something% snap share. So that is a low snap share. Perhaps it was a little fluky nature of Hill's performance yesterday, but again, it worked, and there's no reason not to go back on it since it worked so well in week 1. So the Saints are going to continue to use him. You have to make Hill a priority add this week. All right, Eno Benjamin. So James Conner, we all know, just can't stay healthy. He's going to miss games. He misses games every year. You could take it to the bank. Eno Benjamin did the job. He looked like Chase Edmonds when Edmonds was with the Arizona Cardinals the last couple of years. He did the Chase Edmonds role perfectly, catching passes out of the backfield, running with good speed. If James Conner ever goes down injured, which he will, then Eno Benjamin, you want to have him on your bench when the inevitable kind of injury arises. All right, Khalil Herbert, I made this move yesterday. In fact, Jeff Wilson, I also did, because I followed that strategy that I told you about before Sunday's game of picking up handcuffed backs right before their games start and then just dropping them before the 4 o'clock games begin and then targeting, the 4 o'clock guys like Eno Benjamin yesterday against the Chiefs. That way you have them on your bench in case the starter gets hurt. Look what happened. Elijah Mitchell goes down. I had Jeff Wilson on my bench, who I was prepared to drop by the end of the 1 o'clock game if Mitchell made it through okay. He didn't, so now I have Wilson. I also picked up Khalil Herbert because I just think Herbert is a better player than Montgomery. And Montgomery was absolutely pathetic yesterday. Averaging less than 2 yards per carry. It was just a joke. Herbert scored. He's got good speed. It would be a travesty if he doesn't get more work going forward, especially in the passing game, which he's also very adept at. All right, Kyle Phillips. We started hearing about Kyle Phillips, the rookie of the Tennessee Titans, the slot man, the slot receiver. When Treylon Burks, even though Burks got all the initial hype, the issue with Burks struggling to pick up the offense while Kyle Phillips was doing his thing, Phillips was kind of overshadowed. Well, he caught 6 passes in the first game against the Giants. Also was used in the return game while he did fumble. Ryan Tannehill is not a guy that throws the ball deep very often, so Kyle Phillips over the middle in that slot position could be a nice PPR get there. All right, Josh Palmer. This one's obvious. I know after Keenan Allen got injured yesterday, Palmer really didn't do much. But I think he's going to be much more involved this Thursday. It's going to be a very high-scoring game. A lot of passes against Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be like that, whoever the Chiefs play every week. So Palmer, who did some really good things last season as a rookie, and was expected to be used heavily in 3 receiver sets. Now with Keenan Allen likely missing the game, Palmer's going to step up, and he's going to get a lot of targets from Justin Herbert. All right, and then on that front as well, Gerald Everett caught a touchdown pass. He seemed to have developed a nice chemistry with Justin Herbert, as evidenced in the performance that he put forth yesterday. So he, too, is somebody that you might want to add. And then finally, James Robinson. So James Robinson looked really good, and he's going to be a potential problem for anybody owning stock in Travis Etienne. James Robinson ran with authority. He ran with good speed. The only pass he caught went for a touchdown. Robinson is very capable of both running and catching the football, and I think that he's going to be a key part of this offense. 50-50 split potentially as much with Etienne. Gonna hurt Etienne. I thought that 4th-round price tag was a little expensive on Etienne. We know about the history of Achilles injuries impacting running backs negatively coming back from the surgery, as you saw with Cam Akers so far. But at least one game, Robinson looks good. All right, so those are my ads for the week. Hit that subscribe and notification button. More videos coming later in the day.